What's up, everybody? This is Mike with Insatiable Thirst. I'm back after a short hiatus, and in this episode of Insatiable Thirsty Thursday, we're talking about one of my favorite things, coffee beer. I brewed a coffee beer about a year ago for a competition called Cafe au Ale. I got an honorable mention in that competition with my robust porter that I added cold brew coffee to. This competition is a coffee beer competition only, and it's come up again this year, but I won't be entering a homebrew into said competition because I am the coordinator, and that's against the rules. Anyway, there's another reason we're talking about coffee beer, and that's because it's fall. Now, while fall may make other people be prepared for pumpkin spice everything, including pumpkin beers, I'm not that big of a fan. Fall makes me think of the inviting, warming, rich, and delicious coffee beers. There are many different kinds of coffee beer. I tend to go with the porters and the stouts. Speaking of a coffee porter, if you have any interest in learning how to brew a coffee porter, I will provide a link to a blog post about my brew day of that beer that I entered into last year's competition. Anyway, let's get down to drinking this beer that I have brought to share with you today. We have Lagunitas. Oh, let me get that in the camera there. Imperial Coffee Stout. This was barrel aged in High West rye barrels, and it's 12% ABV. I've got a feeling it's going to be a little warm, or a little warming, I should say, and that's the idea. Who cares if it's 90 degrees outside? I live in California, but it's fall and I'm ready for this stuff. A little bit of my glass here. Glug, glug. Now, I come to expect higher alcohol beers to not have much of a head. I could have poured it a little bit more in the center to get more head and to get more aromatics to come out of this glass, but oh well. I'm definitely picking up that rye barrel. There's notes of vanilla and a spicy grain-like character that I'm guessing is coming from the rye. Now, that spicy character could also be coming from the alcohol, as it is 12%. And behind those, there's definitely chocolate and toast. But I'm not really picking up much coffee on the nose myself, because there's a lot going on. So we talked about the aroma. Let's check out this appearance. That's about as black as you can get, right? And if you could see the head, if I had poured it a little bit thicker, maybe I can work one up like this. It's near brown in color. One could call that a dark beige, I guess. The brown color that brownish color of a head usually comes from the use of roasted barley. That's a usual ingredient in stouts, and that's what's also giving me some of that toast characteristic on the nose. So we talked about the aroma, talked about the appearance. I am so ready to take a drink of this. Ooh, there's a lot going on there, but it definitely follows what I picked up in the nose. I got those vanillins from the rye barrel. Also some of that spicy, I'm not sure if that's an alcohol spice or if that's the rye flavor coming through the wood. Now I noticed that I didn't note much coffee in the aroma, but I definitely get it on the palate. And it's rich. And there's also a lot of chocolate characteristic, and again, that toast. The toast is kind of on the back end of the palate, but the coffee is this would make a great breakfast beer, honestly. Would pair well with donuts, and it would make one feel like they were having a dessert for breakfast. Nothing wrong with that, right? But it's also caffeinated, which is what I need in the morning. Okay, so let's talk about the mouthfeel now. It's definitely a full-bodied beer. You could almost chew it. There's not tons of carbonation, but it's present, and it's certainly warming. This almost feels like drinking wine. I mean, it is 12%. It is damn near wine. But I feel it warming in my chest, and that makes me feel like it should be cold outside, and it makes me that much more prepared for fall, which is, again, one of the reasons I love coffee beer. I love fall. It's probably one of my favorite seasons. Next to spring. I guess one could just say that I don't like the heat or the super cold. Whatever. I digress. So as per usual, this is Mike with Insatiable Thirst. It's been a pleasure. Cheers.